Good Tuesday afternoon and welcome to SVC Sports Weekly. I'm Mike Nosek alongside head baseball coach Dave Gage. Dave, how are you on this Election Tuesday?
I'm good. How are you, Mike?
Not bad at all. A little tired after a long trip up to Linden State College with the men's basketball team last night, but nothing that a little rest can't fix. So, back at it, ready to roll. Here we go. Let's get right into it. Men's soccer was at the NECC playoffs this past week. They unfortunately lost at Elms College 4-1. They went ahead and 1-0 in that game. Both of us were there. And it's a disappointing way for them to end their season, to say the least.
Yeah, like you said, we were both there, got the chance to watch them play, and they went up 1-0 off a throw-in from Connor Murray. He threw it to Pierre Messina, and they scored, went up 1-0. And, it was funny, me and you were talking during the game, and Elms just kept trying to go through the air, and Connor was, center back, was just heading away, and it seemed like Elms couldn't do anything. And then all of a sudden, they mishit a cross, finds the feet of a player, and from Elms scores one, and then momentum switched like that. Just automatically, it was all, right from there, it was Elms.
Absolutely, you hit the nail on the head there. Once they got that first goal, their momentum swing was incredible, and, their fans were there under their lights. The SVC contingency wasn't very big, so they carried that and got the second one, and after that, they were kind of rolling. And the third and fourth kind of just came naturally. So, again, a disappointing way to end the season. It was nice to see them battle all the way through the season and get into the NECC playoffs. However, they just couldn't piece it all together for a full 90 and come out with the win there.
Yeah, and they played a good team. Elms ended up winning the NECC championship this weekend and is headed to the NCAA. So, it's not like they lost to a bad team, but like you said, it was being up 1-0 as the game was going on and starting to think upset, and then the momentum switching so quickly just is disappointing. But like you said, they did make the playoffs for the fourth straight year, and it was they made it to the playoffs.
And three players to note, you already mentioned two of them. Junior Pierre Messina was named to the All-NECC first team for his second year in a row. And then Connor Murray was named to the All-NECC second team, with Eric Argueta, the 2011 NECC Rookie of the Year, gaining an honorable mention. So congratulations to those players. And I think it shows that this team did have the talent there. It was just a matter of, again, piecing it together for a full match that they sometimes struggled with.
Yeah, all year long, there was always that 5-10 minute lapse that they had, and how many 1-goal losses did they have throughout the year that we constantly were talking about. But like you said, there was a ton of talent, and individually for those guys who got recognized by the All-Conference, it's congratulations to them.
Absolutely. And we'll stick with soccer, but go over to the women's side. They also lost in their first round NECC match at Becker College, a 3-2 defeat there. And again, first team to go up on the board. They got a 1-0 lead with a Shawnee Webster goal, and an absolutely incredible goal from what I'm told by head coach Michael Zazig in her what would be last match in a Mountaineer uniform, unfortunately. And then Becker came back with a few quick ones to regain the lead.
Yeah, it's funny. We were together, like you said, we were at the men's soccer game, and Shawnee scored, go up 1-0, and all of a sudden text 2-1 Becker, and then I get another text down 3-1 Becker's lead. They scored 3 goals within 5 minutes, so that just goes to show how good the Becker team was. Responding that quickly and scoring 3 goals. But we did battle and score another one, make it 3-2 late in that game, but just couldn't find the equalizer.
Yeah, junior Caitlin Forant scoring her first collegiate goal, her 20th overall in the season, which far supersedes the previous SVC single season record of 15. And those numbers were good enough to get her on the first team All-Conference as well as NECC Rookie of the Year. So congratulations, Caitlin. And some outstanding numbers. I believe she had 9 goals and 4 assists in conference play. So that, along with Jocelyn Ortega, another junior, gaining second team All-Conference honors, and then Aaron Student and Sam Hastings getting honorable mentions. So 4 players getting All-Conference nods, and another proof positive that this program is moving in the right direction.
You can't talk enough about how well this program did this year, and Caitlin had a phenomenal season, and just so much to congratulate her about with Rookie of the Year honors and how many goals she scored, and just every game posing a threat to the other team. And like you said, it does show how much Michael has done with this program, and in the 2 years that he's been here after taking over what he took over with. On his first day of practice they had 4 girls, and now they finished the year with a SVC record in wins on the women's soccer side, in another playoff appearance, and now 4 people on the all-conference team. So congrats to Michael and his team, but hopefully they come back next year and continue to improve that program.
And looking ahead to next year, I think it's noteworthy that we mentioned Shawnee Webster finished her collegiate career as a Mountaineer, and she was the only one. She was the only senior from this team. So, given that the rest of them come back for the 2013 season, they're not only going to have that collective chemistry within the team to be able to play well together, they now have playoff experience under the belt. They won't have that maybe kind of nervousness that they might have gone into Wednesday night's match with. And that definitely helps move in the right direction.
Absolutely.
So again, congratulations to all the women there for all the great things they did this past season. And I'm sure all Mountaineer fans are eager to get them back on the pitch next August and see what they can do in response to the loss at Becker. Jump over to women's volleyball now, and hey, this Saturday afternoon they hosted their second consecutive NECC women's volleyball title. Us both being alumni of the school, that makes us pretty proud.
Yeah, always when any team wins a championship, it's great to see, and congrats to the women's volleyball team on another championship. And talk a little bit about the weekend as we were both there, but I think everyone expected the women's volleyball team, especially with what they've done to conference opponents. And Friday was an interesting game. We'll get into that, but Saturday they were the team that we all know at SVC volleyball to be.
Yeah, pretty dominant on Saturday rather, beating Regis by a score of 3-0, and as you mentioned, pretty dominant, and proved why they were selected unanimously as the number 1 team in the conference during the preseason coaches poll back in August. So you also mentioned Friday night, a little interesting. They won over Daniel Webster 3-1. That one set that they dropped was the first set against a conference opponent since they lost to Lesley University in, I believe it was the semifinals back in 2010. Mm-hmm. So, not bad. Daniel Webster was playing very well. I don't think we were playing the sharpest that we could have, and definitely not as sharp as we played on Saturday.
Yeah, and I think, it was that little wake-up call because we responded real well in the 3rd set and the 4th set, and the 3 sets on Saturday, we were real sharp, like you said. And I think it was just the fact of, they were playing Daniel Webster and was hoping that it was going to be an easy match, but, Daniel Webster came ready to play, as in all playoff games. It's playoff atmosphere, and everyone's ready to go. But they, good teams find ways to win, even when they don't play well, and that's what we did this weekend.
And as you mentioned, kind of a wake-up call there Friday against Daniel Webster, and then they came into Regis. And personally, I think that was the best I've seen the team play all season. Junior captain Carrie Baltazar's passes seemed to be on point, and she was even fooling me on the sideline where I thought she was going to pass it to one player and then would instead hit it behind her to another hitter. And whether it was Danielle Heelis or Alicia Manzo or Ashley Valise coming up with the big kill, they were distributing the ball well. Everyone was doing their part, and I think their hitting percentage proved that they were the better team that day and the best team in the conference.
Yeah, absolutely. And, talking about another player here is MVP of the tournament, Danielle Heelis. We would be surprised not to mention her name, but 833 in the championship game, and 500 against Daniel Webster. So when your worst of 2 games is hitting 500, you had a pretty good weekend, and she hit 605 for the weekend. Like I said, MVP honors, but just phenomenal play. Just absolutely awesome play all weekend for her. I think she committed 1 error, throughout the tournament, and she was dominant. But like you said, it all starts from the passing on the serves between Cindy and, Jess and, whoever else it might be, and then Carrie with the passing, and it was they played sharp. They were well-oiled machines, so to speak.
Absolutely. And another quick note to mention on Helis, she currently leads all Division III in hitting percentage with a .439. So again, limiting those errors. It seems like every time she goes up to swing, she's hitting the ball straight down, and teams are very lucky if they can get a hand underneath her attacks.
So with the win this weekend, our women's volleyball team will take on the second-seeded Middlebury College Panthers up at Clarkson in the New York Regional. And Middlebury is actually ranked number 31 in the country in the AVCA poll. So, it'll be a good little matchup for this weekend and a couple good teams in that regional.
And we'll be right back with head coach Josh Stokes to talk about that NCAA regional and how they might fare up at Clarkson versus Middlebury. Welcome back to SVC Sports Weekly. We are welcomed here on the phone by NECC Coach of the Year, Josh Stokes. And it's actually 2 consecutive Coach of the Year honors for you, Mr. Stokes. I'd like to say right off the bat, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I think we're going to get right into it here with, you guys going up to Clarkson University on Friday night for your second NCAA tournament appearance. You have any thoughts real quick about that?
Yeah, this is going to be a great weekend for us. I'm happy with our draw as far as being the number 7 seed. Middlebury is not a team to take lightly, but we come into this being a lot more prepared, and, it's great to step out where I started my East Coast coaching and right into Clarkson University.
Stokes, why don't you, talk a little bit about how much last year's experience at Clarkson, how much that's going to help you guys and help your team as you guys return a lot of players.
Well, returning the girls and them having the experience of coming into this tournament is going to be very clutch for us. I mean, last year going in against Portland, we just had zero preparation for it. And now, with a lot of the tough games we scheduled for ourselves in this late part of the season before our postseason happens, I feel like we're a lot more prepared. The girls are a lot more confident in themselves. So, this weekend is going to be a great revelation to the experience that we had last year, and hopefully we're going to come out on top.
Again, you're playing the number 2 seeded Middlebury College, first ever matchup between the two programs. Do you have any kind of insight or scouting report on the Panthers and what they might be able to bring against you guys on Friday night?
Yeah, they got a hitter, Jerko, who's, she's just tearing it up for him right now. We're not sure if she hits from the left or the right, but I'm going to get the read on that one 100%. But where I know we can challenge them is 100% out of the middle. Having Danielle, who right now, I think she's top of the country in hitting percentage, has been just absolutely destructive to every team we played all season. So our goal right now is to beat them out of the middle, because I know their middles are, they're good, but they're just not as strong as Danielle. And hopefully they're not as strong as Elaine either.
Yeah, you talk a little bit about Danielle. Talk a little bit about, we mentioned how well she played this past weekend to get you guys where you are. But, from a coaching standpoint, why don't you touch a little bit about how well she played in the NECC championships?
I'd say with that Danielle up there hitting 605 for us, that championship match turns into a bigger battle for us. She stepped up huge, and anytime she saw the ball, her goal was to put it down, through the floor. And without her leadership as well, too, I can't tell you where this team would be. I don't know if we'd be going to the NCAA tournament. She's definitely kept us very focused, and she's kept us very balanced as well.
Stokes, if you had to pick one thing that you think this weekend will either be the breaking point of whether you guys win or lose, what do you think that might be? Would it be limiting the hitting errors or making sure that the defense is solid so that their hits aren't falling on the court. If you had to pick one thing, which of those would it be?
There's actually two things, man. I think they both balance. It's an equal balance. I can't pick one over the other. We need to be able to pass the ball. We need to protect the ball out of serve receive. Libera's got to be on. CS has got to be on. Outside's got to be on in the pass. The second thing is that our centers have to be able to make the right choices and move the ball around and not fall in love with just throwing the ball out to the outside the entire time. If we can do those two things, again, I possibly see us coming out on top against a very strong Middlebury team.
Very good. Well, Coach, we'd like to thank you for spending your time here on SVC Sports Weekly. We'd love to have you back next weekend and hopefully have some great things to talk about. And we wish you the greatest of luck in the tournament.
I appreciate that, and I'd like to say that I love you guys, and your radio show is awesome. I listen to you every week.
Oh,
Thanks,
we appreciate that, and that makes it that much more enjoyable to do for you guys. So, thanks again, Coach.
Thank you.
There you have it, 2012 NECC Women's Volleyball Coach of the Year, Josh Stokes, on the SVC Sports Weekly hotline. And while we're in the NCAA talk, let's switch over to cross country. They are competing in the NCAA Regionals this weekend at Westfield State University down in Westfield, Massachusetts. And they're only sending a few runners from each side, but I was talking with Coach Maria Stuber earlier. She said it's a bit of a hilly course, so a little less severe than their home course on Mount Anthony, but not as flat as they ran at Mitchell College 2 weeks ago. And I can definitely see them coming back with some success from that event.
Yeah, definitely. Coming off the most successful season in quite a while with a second place on the men's side, and the chance to go to the NCAAs for a lot of these guys is they're running individually because of, like you said, a smaller roster. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. They get to compete against the best teams in the New England region, obviously, with it being regional. So, best of luck to them.
Absolutely, and I'm sure we'll be mentioning the names that we have grown accustomed to talking about on this program, such as Josh Caesar and Alice Lala, potentially Helio Masta, and Victor Velasquez. So good luck to all those runners competing this weekend. And again, good luck to the women's volleyball team at the NCAA Regionals. And you guys can tune in next week to hear how they did at those NCAA events. And we will also be previewing men's and women's basketball as they are slated to begin their seasons with some tip-off tournaments next weekend. Wrap it up, Dave. Anything else you got to say about fall seasons overall?
No, it was a good seasons all the way around. Everybody, teams had the chance to compete in playoffs, and two teams in the NCAAs is pretty cool. And like you said, as alumnus of this school, women's volleyball in the NCAAs, that's a real neat feeling to be able to go watch them play. So.
Absolutely, and again, that game is at Clarkson University up in Potsdam, New York, at 5:30 on Friday. If any of you are interested in making the trip, live stats and video broadcasting should be happening. So check svcathletics.com and the women's volleyball schedule to find links for those two live viewing events. We'd like to thank you for tuning in for SVC Sports Weekly. I'm Mike Nosek alongside Dave Gage. Go Mountaineers.